Welcome back, guys. Before we get started, I'd like to thank you guys for helping me hit 150 subscribers. I think we're at actually 156 right now, so thank you for that. Today, hopefully is the last time I ever have to say this, but we're gonna be trying to fix an oil leak. Subarus seem to have problems with oil. It's either burning oil, leaking oil, or has no oil and blew up. So if you guys have noticed in any videos, I always have cardboard under my car. It's because it's always leaking oil whenever I park, and it's actually a substantial amount if we look under my car right now. As you can see, there's the new lip. If you guys haven't watched that video, that was an interesting install. Go to check that out, there'll be a card. You can see there's oil on the pan, but it's not leaking from the pan. And it's kind of leaking from that upper corner right there, which if we go directly up, is where the turbo is. So it's something to do with the turbo. I'm thinking oil outlet pipe or the inlet. Now if we go to the very top, right down there, this is gonna be hard for you guys to see, I'll zoom in, but there is actually oil also pooling on the block. There you can see the oil pooling on the block. So it's kind of near that hose, which is the oil outlet pipe, I believe, but there's also a couple other inlets and stuff for the turbo, so I definitely think it's something to do with the turbo leaking oil, so I think I might have to pull the downpipe. I was actually thinking of pulling the whole turbo today, but that is a massive job. Intercooler, downpipe, coolant, oil, everything has to be topped up and refreshed, so I probably won't end up doing that today. I'm gonna definitely try to find this oil leak though and maybe order parts because I have a feeling something is broke. After browsing some forums, I think I might have found a possible leak area that I didn't think of before. So I was thinking it was the turbo area. On the forums they mentioned an oil sender unit, which is actually underneath the alternator up front, but they did say it can cause oil to leak on the block. As I haven't really checked the other side to see if it has been leaking all the way across the block, it could very well be that. So we're gonna check that out right now. So they mentioned it's under the alternator, so just right down there. Okay, I do see a little bit of oil, but I don't see really enough oil to do that. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this cover off and have a better look. After a closer examination, it definitely is leaking a tiny bit of oil, but it's not the oil leak we're looking for. The reason I can tell is not where it's leaking from, because all the oil is leaking from the back. So if it was to be leaking here, it would have to travel up and around. You can tell there's no oil down there. You can actually see the EJ25 stamp right there, and there's no oil there, so there's no path in which the oil could have taken to get to the back of the block. So I guess it's back to the forums for a little bit to see if I can find any other places. With the cardboard under the car, you can see exactly where it's dripping, or hopefully where it's dripping. So I lifted up the car and decided to check it out, and here's what I saw, guys. There is oil everywhere. It almost goes back to, I would say almost back to here, the transmission mounts, and it's all the way up on the pan, on the subframe, on everything. But instead of telling you, I'll just show you guys. So it starts right here where the motor mounts are, right behind the pan, and then goes all the way along there to way back there. The problem with this watching for the fresh oil on the cardboard, right there is right up there, so it's just pooling up there where I know it's pooling, and then back there where it's just, again, probably pooling on that. After scouring the web for quite a bit actually, I think I might have found the problem, or what possibly is the problem. So there's a PCV valve for your crankcase to allow it to equalize. And on the Subarus, it is right straight down here. So where the oil's leaking actually, and is this little one right there. You can see my hands on it. So right where our oil is leaking from, and it's a common thing on Subarus for them to fail or all these hoses to crack. Actually, this is a hose, but it's hard plastic now, so it's probably damaged. But here's a catch. I've been trying to find this all day, so it's too late to start pulling apart my car. So what I'm gonna do is, I already cleaned up the car, so I cleaned up underneath and cleaned up down where the PCV valve is. I did this to just make sure 100% that it's leaking there, and I'll probably run it and drive it for a little bit and check and see if it's leaking there, because there's also a bunch of other places it could be leaking, but this is the most probable. You probably can't see too well, but it is all shiny and clean, so hopefully I can confirm that it's the valve. If you guys have watched my video before this where we installed this front lip, told you guys I was gonna scrape, well, I definitely did right here. I've only had it on for a week and I've already scraped. So unfortunately, I do have to get the tubing and the valve, and I'm also going to be replacing a little gasket in with my intercooler that we did not replace during my intercooler replacement. If you guys watched that, we just replaced the stock OEM hoses that were kind of disgusting and breaking apart with some new silicone ones that can withstand much higher heat and are much better quality. This happens in every video. We think we're gonna do it right and we end up taking 4 or 5 more hours than planned and not even getting it started. If you guys have any suggestions of where I should look other than the valve, let me know in the comment section below. I would appreciate it. This oil's been giving me a tough time in the last, like, I don't know, ever since I owned my car. Also in the next, probably this video after we replace this, me and a couple friends are going to be building a front splitter for my car, or it'll be a 2-parter, so we'll show you guys how we're going to design it with cardboard and stuff and our thought process behind that, and then the process of actually cutting it out and putting it on and what else we're going to do, because we are going to make this functional aero. That's it today, so as always, peace out and stay humble.